So I'll be the moderator here for this discussion. So let's start with, is it working? Oh, okay, now it's working. So as you heard, we are going to discuss how AI is going to change game dev and how we are using it today. Let's start with some introductions of my co-speakers.
Yeah, okay, I can start. My name is Ruslan Zelenskyi. I'm founder of Gamepack. We are from Ukraine. Gamepack is an outsourcing and product company. We are 9 years old and 150 people. Now, during the global Russian invasion in Ukraine, I live with my family in the UK, Britain. So, and we are waiting for the victory in Ukraine and try to come back to the home, to our friends. Thanks.
Yes, hi everyone. I am Kenny, Head of Partnerships and Growth at Kinetix. We are a company of about 30 people. We started about 4 years ago, mainly as an AI lab, I would say. And about 2 years ago, we raised money to actually build products for the gaming industry. And what we specialize in is creating AI models applied to 3D animations of avatars. So there are many use cases in the gaming industry, and right now our main focus is in creating products for studios to actually enable UGC in games. So I will show you our technology. Maybe we can start the video. So basically our main product is an SDK. This is not the right video, this is the other one. Our main product is an SDK that is letting players create animations. Still do not, I can keep talking and we can wait for the other one. So basically it's an SDK that let players create animations with AI directly in-game. So we are really putting generative AI in the hands of players here. The idea is that people can upload a video. It can be any kind of video as long as there is human movement in the video. So here you can see the player doing a Kamehameha, for example. And we managed to create an animation from it and then give it to the user. So you can think of many use cases like letting people express themselves in-game with custom emotes or with custom celebrations in any type of gameplay where you have celebrations. So that's our main product, UGC focused. And because we have this technology of video to animation, we also work on offering products for creative pipelines of studios so that they can create animation in a faster way. So I will tell you a bit more about it after. Maybe Oz, you can present yourself.
Yes, so my name is Oz, and at the moment I'm basically GM of Europe at Leonardo. Leonardo is a basically image generation platform with AI. Maybe we can put our video now. Yes, so you could say similar to Midjourney in some ways, but giving a lot more control and a lot more features. This is just showing a small portion of them. Like we have basically provide opportunity to train your own models, to do fast generation for ideation, doing giving much more control to the artists, and videos, upscaling. So it's a whole set of features that we can discuss at another time. And personally, I've been in AI since 2017. So I had like 2 AI startups in the past. One was doing machine learning consulting, and another one doing marketing campaign automation with AI, with machine learning. So been in this, I guess, sector for a while. So we'll go with more questions, but I have one question for everybody here. Like, who is using AI for something in their daily life? So almost everyone. And who is using image generation? Like Midjourney or something, okay. And for me, just curious, who heard about Leonardo before? Leonardo AI before? Okay, there's some also. Cool. And we can ask other things also, like who knew about, I guess.
Well, maybe who is using AI for creating animations? One person. Two. Oh, okay, so
okay.
let's democratize.
Who is, well, I guess this will be maybe easy, but who is in game dev, like actually developing the games, like, you know, there's different roles in the game company, so. Okay, that's it.
May I ask a question? Who is the artist and using AI for art generation? 2, 3, thanks.
Okay.
Okay, who is the artist and don't use AI?
Well, you can ask
Also 3. Huh?
Maybe who's against AI?
Yeah, who don't like, who think that AI is an enemy for the artist? Oh, yeah.
Not so many.
We can discuss about this.
Okay. So I think now we introduce ourselves and have an idea about, like, also you. So let's start with what are the different ways. I guess we can start with you. How are you using AI in game dev?
Okay, I need to add a little bit about myself because I am not just the founder. I am the artist, and I was the artist before I opened this company. So I'm maybe 15 years in the game development. So and I completely understand these people who raise their hands up and think that the AI is an enemy. So we have more than 100 artists in our team, in our company. And at the beginning of 2023 years, my friends say, did you use AI for the art generation? And I say, no, of course, because I'm an artist and designer. Why I need to use these tools? Because I can create them themselves. And my first expression about AI was really warrior, because I think that the AI is still my job and do it not really well, if we can say it 1 year ago. But after a few months, I understood that I need to discover, just explore. And we find few tools at that moment. It was Midjourney and Stable Diffusion. It was really difficult because you need to upload this tool on a computer and they use your GPU and it have 20 different settings, so it's really difficult. So, and then I realized that we can use this tool for like inspiration, yeah, and we can generate something for explanation, like a game designer try to explain their thoughts. And during this my discovering, I understood that AI tools growing and they evolve really quickly. So, and we can see the difference between previous year and today in AI art, AI animation generation, and I think everybody see that Will Smith eating the pasta. Yeah, it was really funny, but it's real. What represents Sora few weeks ago. So, and we now using AI really powerful. So we use not just Leonardo. We're using Midjourney, using few tools, AI upscaling. Leonardo also have AI upscaling, and they represent, I think, few months ago maybe. It's in the beta and in subscriber for $30, so it's not like a basic subscribers. But so we're using few different kind of tools for us, for researching, for idea provider, and also for generation basic on color sketch to receive final result and then upscaling this result to the high resolution. So
maybe I can add a bit on top of this, just to put some context, because we speak a lot about AI these days. I mean, AI has been around for a lot of years, obviously. What is very new is more generative AI. And we've seen AI already impacting the gaming industry with a lot of different applications, like localization, for example, where AI is obviously very powerful for indie studios to reach global audiences very quickly when it wasn't possible before, with also AI-driven analytics. I think you have some experience in this, Oz, where we also see that games can adapt the content to the players because they have much better analytics. What is very new right now is more generative AI and everything that Ruslan was speaking about. And I think that it will unlock a lot of different use cases, not only for creating games, but also for the gameplays that users are experiencing. And I think, Oz, maybe you can say a few words about how Leonardo, for example, is impacting the way people are creating games with Gen AI.
Yeah, so Leonardo is focused on images and videos. That's like videos is quite recent. And so, yeah, I can, and just to add to yours, like there's also basically almost any aspect of game dev you can think of, there's some tool that people are working on. Like we have voiceovers, 11 Labs and others. We have like NPC generation, not like let's say NPC orchestration, or of course ChatGPT for ideation. There's so many tools. In this panel, we are more on the, I guess, image side or image and motion, animation side, visual side of things in this panel because of the experience we have here. With Leonardo, people use it in different ways. I think it also depends on the game type. So there are some games that are completely built on Leonardo, like especially some story games where they generate the whole story using our tool. I mean, the images for the story and the story itself through ChatGPT or other methods. There's also use cases for different assets in the game. Some people that are, I would say, it depends on the comfort level of the company. Some people use it for ideation. Some people use it for communication, like the game designer use to communicate ideas to the team. But our platform has multiple ways. So it has the iPad app, website. I think these are good for the artist and game designer. But we also have API, so that if you get a workflow for certain kind of asset in the game, let's say you want to build like many different weapons or houses or something, then you can automate the exact same process to the API and make thousands of them. I think our philosophy is to enable the artist, not to replace at all. Like it's just to enable, and the platform has so many different features and so many different settings. It's basically a tool, like a set of tools, and the artists can use it much better than me. Like I'm an AI person, so I don't have the eye as an artist, or I don't understand. I mean, I don't have the experience to actually get the most out of the tool. So it's a tool for expressing yourself. And so
yeah, I'm sorry, yes. You mentioned about you are not artist, and it's interesting topic because I have few friends who is artists and architects, designers, and also a lot of friends who non-creative, they professional non-creative, and it was like two meaning about AI. Non-creative person, they think that because they don't have creative skills, like art, vision, yeah, they don't study about creative and arts, they can't use the AI like an artist. But what I realized during this 1.5 year exploring different kind of AI in different ways in production, that even if you don't have the skills, it's really easy and quick to use them, similar to person who have the skills. So now we live in this situation, in this world that AI, because before AI, we have some difference between people who have a lot of skills and they don't have a lot of skills. And we feel this gap between these two kind of person. But now AI make like one level between different people, and now for a few months you can reach some new skills, new knowledge. You can use different kind of AI, and you can provide some similar result like a person who don't use an AI but have these skills. And it's interesting and scary at the same moment, because people who study 10 years like me and discovering a lot of topics and exploring our own skills and try to polish them to the perfect level. It scared me because other people, teenagers in 16 years, can upload few video from YouTube and study some topics really quickly and receive the same result during using AI like me. And also the interesting news, I reposted this in my LinkedIn yesterday. Singapore government represent the vision that they will pay for people who 40 years plus, that they need to come back to the study, to the university, to the college, and they need to study new kind of skills during the AI lights in the global world. And this government person, he's talking about Midjourney, Sora, OpenAI, about different ChatGPT, and he said, now we can ignore this influence, this wave, and I think Singapore is a really good example of how they build the country for last 50 years, and they show really good example how we need to now have some opinion about AI. So it's if some government and all country think about how they need to prepare for this new kind of living during the AI lights, I think big company and we, like a person personally, we need to think about this more bigger than we think before. Like we can use this in a small case, sometimes like a few small things, and that's enough. Sorry for a lot of information.
I just want to add again on top of what you just said, because basically you said that it's also bridging the gap between different people who don't necessarily have the skills to create creative things. Yeah. I think it's great, and I think it's also the case for animation with what we do, and it's also bridging, making it easier for small studios to compete with big ones. In a way, before, if you were not a big studio with motion capture suits and big studios to basically create motion data, it was very hard for you to create a game with crazy good animations. With the different technologies that are being built in terms of generative AI for animation, we see a lot of studios that are very small using our technology to create very specific animations for their games. So now they can, in a way, compete with games that have motion capture suits that cost a lot of money. And it's not only for game studios who are creating games, but I also think it's for all the creators that you have on different platforms. In the past, it was limited to people who had the skills to create content, so whether it is video or images or, again, animations. But now with Gen AI, kind of anyone are going to be able to create content. So you see on Roblox, for example, or on Fortnite, in the past, it was only people who had the skills to create mini games, and now it's becoming easier to actually create mini gameplays. We also see that with games like Fall Guys or Stumble Guys. Originally, it wasn't UGC first games, but now they are implementing some features so that anyone can create different levels and different game mechanics, and this is all possible because of Gen AI in a way, and I think it's going to have a big impact on how people create content in games, and how people interact with the games and with each other within the games.
Yeah, so basically there's AI used in game dev, like to accelerate and to so like if I would summarize how AI will change game dev, the goal is not again to have a smaller team or something, but it's more about generating content in a way faster, so you can go to market faster and you can provide more interesting content for the gamer faster. So that way there's more content and it will be like the retention of the user can increase. You can try different ideas, like you can generate for a game if it's taking 1 month to make a level, maybe now you can make in 1 week a level, and that way like more content. And go ahead.
Actually, I think that we are still going to make games in a long time. I mean, the same time as before. I think we are just going to iterate much more and experiment much more until we find the right fit.
Yeah.
And like a lot of people think that we are going to cut jobs because of AI. I think that the gaming industry are always going to aim for bigger games and better games, endless games with a lot of open worlds and things like this, instead of trying to create small games with a small cost. So at the end, I think we're just going to create better games, but not cheaper ones.
Yeah, I agree. So like faster content means you can test your ideas faster, you can iterate faster, you can do these things. And the second, of course, is going to help with, well, the title is game dev, but with the marketing, AI is used in images, videos, I mean, your kind of animations for marketing content. That's also, I think, really big use case. And as you mentioned, then there is the whole UGC side of things, like user-generated content and new game types where, like Kinetix is also in that space. So being able to, like for the player to generate skins or to generate basic, like images or avatars or animations. So that's your main focus, right? Or one of them?
One of them. I just wanted to add one last thing on what you just said. It's also a big opportunity for small teams to actually do live ops game, because now you can very quickly create new assets and add them to your game so you can update. You no longer need a big team to do a live ops game, which is, we know, the new business model for games, or at least that's the new business model for a lot of them. So I would say that now, for example, Fortnite, we see that they are adding new animations every week, like new emotes, new dances. I'm talking about that because that's our focus, obviously. They have a lot of people to create these animations. Now, if you have a small game and a small team, you can do the same. You just need to upload the TikTok videos that you see. If there is a new trend, you upload it. You have your animation. Maybe you have to do some cleaning, but in 2 days, you can release 5 new animations in your games and you can monetize them, which is a great opportunity for small studios, but also for big ones at the end of the day, because they can probably optimize and release much more content and probably increase the player retention.
Yeah. Also, I think about the Roblox effect. Yeah, that some guys one day create not just a new game, they create a tool that players can create the game themselves. And it was really successful. We know that Roblox still receive a lot of money monthly because player likes, and I have 4 kids and 3 of them each day try to play Roblox, and they ask me, can I play Roblox? And I try to understand why they play only in Roblox, not in hundreds of different games. Because in this game, they can create their own game, and they can play in the game which players create, not just one guy thought that this idea, this game was likened for 1,000 people. And I think AI now give us some opportunity to developers create some tools, some settings in the game, and give opportunity to players create not just some small part of the game like a skin or animation, but in case like a Roblox, create some mini games or mini stories based on their own unique experience, and give some advice or opportunity to the developers understood more their audience, their players, what they like, what they prefer today, because world changed really quickly, and all developers or all companies who create the game, they try to catch this wave of trends and try to understand what players will like today and in what game they will play tomorrow. So, and I think today is like a small steps in this direction, but I definitely sure in a few years we will see some complex tools like Roblox, but Roblox it's also still difficult tools to create games. You need to study a lot of information, and I think in the future it's going to be more easier, more native process to create something, some new games in this tool. Yeah.
Great. So actually, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Something more like concrete, I guess. So can you tell like an example of what you used to do like 2 years ago before AI and how it changed now, like as an example? It's like some process, maybe some asset creation or level. It's like surprise question. He's thinking.
No, it's okay.
But, like if you can go to the workflow before and now and how it changed, I think that would be interesting for everyone.
To be honest, it's not changed globally or massive. So we have small and some minor change, but I see the potential of this change. So it's like a start of this change. I will see, I see that in the future, this change, we will see more concrete and in more stage of production. So now we're using the AI only in a small part of production and only in this project that we use and in this project which clients or we have a green light to use in AI, and now how we see the information that not all artists prefer to use in AI. It's the same case, not a lot of clients try to use it, and we heard that case in Steam that I think now they have some more gently opinion to the AI, but before it was really strong rejection if you're using something AI in your games and you don't pass the access. And in this case, of course, developers, they are scared to use some AI content in a game to receiving some rejection and maybe the hate from the audience if the players will see some art, some generated art. Also, personally, me, when I see some advertisement and I see this AI generation and I see some anatomic problems or 6 fingers or something like this, like an artist, I feel, oh, okay, again, AI generation. But, and I think that developers also scary about this, that players will see something AI generated in the game, and they will say, oh, they don't have they can't draw this themselves, and they using the AI, or they forgot how to draw.
But that's why it's not like AI is just a tool, so the artist still needs to own the final product. Is that right? And also, not everything, I believe, not everything has to be done with AI. Like, there's also stuff you probably don't want to do. Like, if it's a big environment and you have, like, some rocks in the background or trees in the background. So, you know, the main character, of course, you have to do it like.
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah. It's that because I changed it did change my point of view on AI, because even before AI, a lot of artists, they used the 3D small models like a base for the art, like light base or some small anatomic base, and then they continue drawing based on this 3D model. So of course they also like a small hack and trick they use, or they use some plugin, some texture, or some brush in the tool. And of course, they using the computer, they using the planchette, the table, and they use some Photoshop or other tools. Why they don't use the paper and the pencil like before? It's also some tools that we using to implement our skills, and of course we understand that more important some creativity part of this process. And that I think that some artists scare AI, that AI steal this creative part from the artist. But if we see the AI in different perspective, that AI can help us in some minor part of production, but creative idea generation part will be the same in the artist. It helps them because now we don't use in measure, we don't use in the AI for creative part, because you still AI can create the really interesting content themselves from the scratch. Even ChatGPT can create the text similar to some journalists or some writers who can have some personal, interesting story that they can tell. So something like this.
So, okay, do you have like one case where it's the most helpful at the moment?
Yeah, if we have a project that we need to draw, I don't know, 100 or 200 similar characters or items, and we use an AI. So the game designer create idea, then concept artists create concept, black and white concept, then they create color sketch. We approve the sketch, and then we use an AI in two different cases. Receive final result based on this color sketch. So we don't change idea, we don't create this idea from the scratch, we don't steal this idea from other artists that some artists think that AI is stealing the art from other artists. But we, based on this concept that we create and approve, and receive similar result to this concept, but in final state, with more details, more final situation with anatomy and the light. And then in second case, we use like AI upscaling. So I find maybe 4 months ago, this tool, it's called Magnific, and it's blown my mind. And I think now everybody see this in social media. So it's not just upscaling like it was before, make a few pixels and increase the size of the image, but it's AI upscaling. The AI understand the image, and it's not generation. It's not generation based on some image that we use in Stable Diffusion, and we receive the result based on this concept, prompt, and some model that we're using. But you just using your art, and you upscaling this art in a more quality level, and this AI tool understands what you're uploading. For example, if you upload some characters with a dress, and they hold some X in the hand, and so they all understand these all details and concrete these details. And also, Leonardo have this tool, upscaling.
It's new.
Yeah, it's new. And we use these two tools in our production.
Yeah. You want to add something? He's the one that's like using it every day, so I think. Like,
every day?
And what, actually we could even ask, is there someone that's using that would like to share use case where they were very happy and they really integrated to their flow? Yes. Okay. Can you? I would leave it to the end, but I think it's good timing.
Yeah, if I can talk about showcase which I used AI in game, if I understood it right. Okay. Is it also a question session after? Because I have one question. Okay. Okay.
You already started.
Anyway, then firstly, I would love to thank you for insightful discussion. And my implementation is that I was writing an AI localization, but precisely internationalization, as we were talking about AI in localization of games. I wrote a tool that allowed us to translate our game into 11 languages over 5 hours. And it was basically a script where you send an XML table, CSV table, and PO files, translation files of the game, and just setting the language. And it was translating game line by line to another language. And all we did, it was a AA project and by job. And all we did, we just sent this translation for a check to translator, and it came back with barely any changes. Because we get the deepest context of the game, like the historical game, what kind of all the context sensitivity. So the translation was so precise that I was even scared. And therefore, I have like the question, like more of your opinion on the future of AI, because I think these technologies are going really rapidly, and I also feel a bit, if I can say, scared of how fast it's going and how I contributed this. But I want your opinion when, for example, in few years, these AI tools will advance and we kind of reach the technical AI singularity that even, for example, a 16-year-old can create at his home on his computer something close to AA game. How, like the market? How do you think the market of game development will develop? How the game companies with all these AI tools, when you need less people, like everything is more automatized? How do you think it will? Like, will the market of games will be like there will be too much games? How will the prices will and how it will affect the employers? That's it.
Okay. Well, that's. Thank you. So, I guess I can start with the use case of like translation is something I think that's like depending on which area you want to use AI and for which purpose, they're at different advanced levels. Like translation is done really well at this point using like ChatGPT type stuff, LLMs, large language models. And similarly, like voice is done really well. Like that's, I think there's no limitation almost there.
Some localization person crying at the end of the audience hearing your story.
Yeah, yes. About the, well, we were planning to talk about the future anyway, but I don't think game is the first thing that will have too much content. I think before that we have like advertising, movies, because making a whole new game requires, to me, so much creativity. Like the mechanics, the story, all this, I don't think it's the first thing that will, like, that will be affected by. I mean, like, I think before that you have short videos.
Like maybe if I specify exactly, like, maybe I'm more trying to think about perspective. Like, I feel that AI of the games and like more going to artificial intelligence is inevitable and it will happen. It will be like going better and better. I was myself scared of Sora and I just understood that it's no return point. And how do you think, will it be like the kill feature that will potentially like leave with no jobs many people? Or maybe you think that the game development market and then game development companies will adapt to these changes and we will just get a whole another game development industry?
Sorry, I need to talk about, I need to say this joke that sometimes you see the real movie and you understood that maybe some production using the AI during the production because you see not really good quality of the future movie, especially some platform like Netflix, they have maybe one interesting movie from 10 and other 9, it's really poor quality. And yeah, it's really scary because I thought if each, like it was like with YouTube, yeah, and with open possibility to create own TV show from the home for each person. So it's like a revolution in the video content created, but it was mess and trash. But in some moment it was evolved in some interesting kind of way of see how people create the video content. And it was like some competition for the beginning, and now we see like a YouTube video creators, it's like a really mess and influence, and some TV show, they define some influence from the YouTube influencer and creators. I think it's similar in the game development. We will see in the future, like it was like a hyper casual a few years ago, yeah, 1,000 games each week, and a lot of them was trash, of course, but maybe 1% or even less was successful. But still, it's a possibility to create something quick, something new, something interesting, and something that that you can check that players like or not. Because if you talk about PC console games, you need 5+ years to create something and then check if players like or not. And if they don't like, you are dying because you create this game 5 years and nobody liked this game. And now it's a possibility to create, I think in the future, it will be a possibility to create something interesting, some games really quickly, and not by game developers, but some players. In some cases, it's scary, of course, but I think it's depend of our point of view. If I scare something, I run far away, yeah, and I hide. If I don't scare, I go forward. I try to find some solution how I can use this possibility, and it's not matter scary or not. I try to find some solution. I think this is the case.
Okay, I like your answer. Thank you.
Actually, someone was behind you.
Yeah, we have 10 minutes. I think it's the time for the question.
Hello, thank you very much for your speech. I'm going to try to be very quick. Just relating to your question when you asked about if anybody has used AI to create games and if they can share a story, I have actually a very good story which I think it's gonna. I hope it's going to inspire some of you. So I am freelance business, not business, but product manager. And one of my business partners reached out to me 4 months ago asking, basically told me that he wants to create a game. And he asked me to take a look into it and give him some feedback how this can be done. So what I did, I started by looking into Unreal Engine and Unity to compare those two, which would be better to use. And then ended up finding a tool called AI Toolbox for Unity. So funny thing, what happened, I downloaded Unity, got that asset, and started using that asset. So pretty much what it does, it writes the code for you, similar to ChatGPT, it's just a little bit more specific. So I have no experience in coding whatsoever. So I started using that, and in 2 months, I learned C# pretty much in a way that I could use the parts of the code and feed it back to the AI toolbox, so it gave me the working code. And of course, now 2 months later, we decided that we're gonna stop using Unity and we're gonna start using Unreal Engine. So unfortunately, Unreal Engine does not have that, but basically what I'm trying to say that when people say that AI is scary and stuff like that, I mean, if I, with no knowledge of coding, could actually start using and coding things, right? I'm sure that if people would keep an open mind in using AI tools, it could really benefit them in the long run. And the more you're gonna have experience on AI, I'm sure that creating games is, like Kenny said, it's just gonna allow you to create bigger and better games, you know, and just scale up quicker. So yeah, just wanted to share. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
Nice story.
I fully agree with you, and I think it's just gonna enable a lot of people who didn't create games in the past to actually create games. So we're gonna have new types of games. It's pretty much like what happened in the music industry. Now pretty much anyone can create music. I mean, not any kind of music, but it's pretty easy. You have a lot of tools. And I think it's going to happen the same for the gaming industry. It's still pretty hard to create a game. But for example, in Roblox, right now you have hundreds of new games every day. They don't all succeed, obviously, but you have any kind of people who can create these games. So maybe in the future, you're going to have communities who didn't create games in the past, who can create it. So you're going to discover new genres, new experiences. So at the end, I think it's just going to expand the reach of the gaming industry and basically just have new players that weren't playing before.
Yeah. Thank you for the story, and I think it's really powerful because for the last few years, I received similar questions from different my friends, especially like less than 20 years, and they say, "Why do I need to study to be interesting for the companies, and what profession I need to study now?" Because I scared that if I choose wrong and spend 5 years to study some profession, and at the end of these 5 years, this profession was not interesting nobody. And I say it's the wrong question. You need to ask themselves not what profession or skill you need to have. Right question is, do I need to start, or do I need to stop studying or not? So I think now it's more interesting, more profitable, non-stop study. So you need to study each day, interesting topics, not only some profession, but in general, be in the process of studying, discovering. And if you don't stop, you all the time will be on the top of interesting for somebody, because you are in this situation of studying, you all the time find something trendy, interesting, and you all the time will be fresh for the opportunity. So yeah.
There is also a question of timeline, because we might think that Gen AI is going to revolutionize everything, but at the end of the day, for example, for animation, we are not there yet. Like, the quality is not that great. That's why we are basically providing our technology for end users, because we know that players might be satisfied by the level of quality that you can create by just uploading a simple video. We know that professionals, the quality, they still have to clean it. It's not perfect. And there are some limits. Like, it's not super easy for us to train our models. All the ChatGPT things, you just take text on internet and you basically feed your models. For animation, it's pretty difficult. For us, when we generate animations from a video, we basically have to rely on the data that is available basically in the public, and there is nothing. Because we need two kinds of data. We need a video and an animation that is matching this video. And there is literally nothing like this publicly available, so we have to train our models on data that we create. And obviously this takes time, this takes investment. And so for all the niches, like 3D animation is one of them, for example, you're not going to see an OpenAI creating a big model for it, because there is just simply nothing available in the market. So for animation, for example, people wondering if they should study animation right now, I think they have time, because it's not going to be, I mean, they're still going to have to clean some animations, and pretty much the same for a lot of different things, including creating levels, for example, like level design, but even artistic things. At the end of the day, it's not just about prompting something and expecting that it's going to be beautiful. You obviously have to fine-tune it, and if everybody can create something, at the end, it's the people who create unique things that are going to win. So even with all these tools, I don't think that people should be scared. We're still gonna need people to fine-tune things, to clean, to bring something unique, bring innovations. And so even with platforms like Leonardo, you're still gonna need people to basically use these tools. So it's just new tools at the end of the day.
Go ahead.
Hey, I'm an artist and have some experience in the AI, using AI. I have speech on this theme about a year ago also, and I think a lot on this topic. So I have some thoughts that I wish to share and some comments also. So what is you all the time talking about how is good AI for you personally, but in general for the industry it's very bad. So I will talk about some cases in which way it can be bad, because to make bigger games is bad, because even now gamers frustrated a lot about how big game is. They don't have time to play all this game. And more iteration is good. It's increased the quality of the project. But more project is bad, because it's increased the competition level between the game projects. And with the AI, the number of the games will be very highly increased. And the competition level will be much more. And the revenue from each game will be decreased. And so you can see how it works and how it can work in, for example, 5 or 10 years, when every few students at home could do a great game, as you say, with a good level, AA project. It's an example. And what else I wish to say is that the more things should people choose from, the more increase depression and stress level. And decreased level of happiness is what scientists know nowadays. So with the games, and with this a lot amount of games you should choose, and every gamer should choose, it's not bring happiness. And I have a big game community of few thousands people, and a lot of people just begin to play like old games, new old games without big open world, without DLCs, without season passes. And it's all connected. So, and one more thing that I wish to say, that the using of AI discourage new artists to study an art, hard skill of art, because as Ruslan say, any students can now use AI. And for a lot of people, they didn't see the difference between professional artists and some just random guy who just use prompts in some service. And for the artists, musicians, they have the question, so why should I study 10 years hard skill in this specialty if I just can use a prompt and generate something? And in this way, in like 50, 100 years, we can have not very good impact in the culture in general, in the human society. So it's a very big, complicated question, so I just say few of the things that I wish to share.
I think it's, yeah, as you said, it's philosophical, complicated, and I don't think it's easy to guess the result. Like the classic example here is when photography started. Before that, like artists were drawing realistic, I guess, like paintings of stuff, and then photography came. Like the artists didn't stop studying artists, right? Now everybody
Not really,
has,
because that time, a lot of artists lose their jobs, and because of AI, a lot of specialists will lose their jobs.
hopefully not.
And
That's not the purpose.
I have an answer for
they will lose
you.
because
Sorry.
I will finish one sentence. It's about the animation. Yeah, now everyone will, in a few years, could generate very easy, different animation for the games. But we have 10,000 specialists in animators, yeah, on the game. They will lose their jobs. They will begin to create their new games, and it's just all like this. So.
So you say a lot of games it's bad. Yeah, it's a fact, but you can stop it. You can stop the creation, and you can stop the speed of influence. You just,
yes, we can't.
Yeah, you can't, and you can be against or with this speed of evolve. And about art and quality of art, yeah, if everybody try to create something and they have a possibility to create something really normal quality, it was mess because not all person have a knowledge.
Theoretical knowledge in art.
Knowledge about product, about needs, about everything, and they create only small part of production. Because if you talk about the game, it's not about art or animation. It's a lot of different information that you need to be trendy to receive some successful product. But even in this case, you have some % of sure that it will be successful or not. So nobody have 100% of sure that this project will be successful. But you say a lot of projects, a lot of content, it's bad. But it's bad and it's good. You know why good? Because if you have a lot of opportunity, a lot of different kind of choosing, you can choose something interesting. If you have only 2 variations of choosing, you have only 2. 1 or 2. If you have 1,000, you can find something specific of what you need.
The more things you should choose, the more stress level is increased. It's the science fact.
It's topic not for discussion.
Yeah, it's and one more thing I wish to say that I forgot. Everything that's generated with AI, it's like it have an average level of art. It's something average, and only high-skilled specialists in the spheres, like artists, musicians, I don't know, other guys, then can create something genius and unique. And the more will people use the AI, the more everything will be average on the market. And it will be much more difficult to choose between all these products.
I agree with you, but I think it's also an opportunity for people who really create to stand out from the crowd. So Yep,
Like
please.
you are a little bit conflicting. Like, so that's why we still need the artists. It's just a tool. It's not taking their job. Like we don't want the, like we are not, none of our tools are like single button, like create a game.
Yes,
create,
I know.
So, but I think we are, time is probably up, right?
I have a small answer, and we can reach to another question. Also about, yeah, very quick. If we talk about a lot of content during the AI generation, you can stop it and you can be against it because it's already here. We already see this inflation. We already see the speed of conquering AI everywhere. Everywhere. Now is even the different conference using AI in all different kind of areas. So you can stop it. But I think in case of game development, it must be a new echo flow or new type of content searching, like an app store, yeah? You have million games, but if you upload and you go to the Apple Store or Google Store, you don't see million games. You see only some of type of games that these tools propose you. Yeah, it was like a setting for searching interesting game for you. It's the same like in AI game generation, the future. If everybody can create the games, game development must change their way of searching interesting type of the game for each members. So I think it can be like not only one or two platform that they publish the game. It can be like a independent platform that they can not only create the game, but they can publish their own game, and it will be like my own platform that I can choose some interesting topics, and you can go to my platform and surprise and choosing the game during my platform. So it's a
we can continue outside. The one last.
I just wish to say that we should encourage to increase quality, not the quantity of the game and content.
Totally agree.
That's
and also
my point.
Also, like open communication and honesty. Like if you do it with AI, you should say we did it with AI. So I like Steam solution. That's why we are talking. So I agree, like talking, communication, and being honest about which tool you used. Like if you used AI, don't say I did it by hand, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's obvious.
Yeah, that's fair.
Sure.
All right, I'm afraid we have run out of time. Thank you for taking part in this discussion. Please ask the rest of the questions in the corridor. This really friendly gentleman will obviously answer all of them. Thank you very much, gentlemen. That was really engaging, and great applause.